Hello. Recently, a lot of people have been asking me one question. How did I survive, occupy myself, not go crazy, spending about 8 months in the hospital? And granted, it was in and out stays, but they were long and they were painful and they were not fun, or so you would think. And I told each individual the same thing. I said, whenever I'm put in a challenging situation, I try to find not just the good, but the opportunity. The opportunity maybe to do some good, the opportunity to learn something, the opportunity to whatever. Because if you can find an opportunity, it gives you some goals to work on and it gives you something to do, and it makes you from going absolutely batshit crazy when you're stuck in an ICU room with walls painted white and hooked up to machines and all of that. So luckily enough, my mind was working, except for in the very beginning, my mind was a little bit sketchy for a day or two, but that was straightened out, and probably not a surprise to those who know me too well, very well rather. But anyway, the opportunity I came up with, or I discovered, is I made goals to heal when I got home. When I got home, it was a huge transition. I'd spent all this time in this controlled environment. If anything went wrong, doctors were right there, nurses were right there, tests were right there, blood work was right there. You had access to everything. And as happy as you are, and as glad as you are, and as anxious as you are to go home, when you've been really sick, it's scary. It's a bittersweet thing. You have to kind of, you don't take a step back, but you have to learn how to be brave and go forward into your home, back into your life, without every little thing that could possibly go wrong, or every big thing that you think about that could possibly go wrong. Those solutions are not immediately within your realm. They're a half hour away at a hospital. So I made a goal to break down my days into the absolute smallest goals you could possibly make, because it was the only choice I had. Digress for a minute. When I came home, I was very, very weak. So weak that the first morning I was home, I had slept the night before without a pillow, and I woke up and I still was too weak to have somebody pick my head up for me and put the pillow underneath. It was just too much effort to be moved. Now you say, well, in the hospital you must have moved. You didn't just lay there all day. True, you get moved around and whatnot, but you also are hooked up to massive amounts of pain medicine. So that's it's a totally different thing when you come home. And things hurt, and you just want to be left alone. But if you choose that, to say, leave me alone, I don't want to get better, this is just too hard, you're probably not going to get better. And if I made that choice, I wouldn't be sitting here. 100% guarantee would not be sitting here talking with you today. Not to say I didn't have hard times. There were times when I was on the floor, on my knees, not literally, of course, but just saying, I'm done. This is too hard. I don't believe I'm ever going to get better. I'm weak as a kitten. I can't do anything. I can't work. I can't see my friends. I can't. That's all that would come into my head. And then I'd have my little whatever tantrum, if you want to call it. It's probably pretty appropriate. And then I'd say, okay, I can do this. I've fallen off the wagon a little bit. Let me get back on. And I needed my cheerleaders all around me, my family and friends. People need people. So if you don't have support, get some. And I would literally borrow their will to keep going. Because sometimes when I didn't care enough about what I thought of myself, I cared enough what they thought, what they would go through, how they would feel. if I didn't try, if I didn't get better, if I just laid in bed and gave up on life. So I would make small goals, baby goals, broken down sometimes into half hours, and a half hour, and another half hour, and another half hour. By the time goes by, the end of the day is going by. And then I break it into bigger goals. Okay, I'm going to accomplish this in this whole day, and then I'm going to accomplish this in this whole week. And it took a long time. It took months, and I'm not done. I'm much, much better, but I'm not done with my healing process. And I won't be for a while. So in all the products that I make that talk about goals and personal development and how you get there, when someone purchases one and they are communicating with me and they are going back and forth asking me questions and really being involved in what the work of the goal system tells you what you need to do, I know they are on it and doing what needs to get done, and I'm happy. But sometimes someone will be really hyped up for a day or two, and then slowly their emails and their questions and their whatever type of communication die down. And I know they're not doing the work, and I know they've given up. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Even if let's say you're a smoker and you have a goal of quitting by the end of the year, and you have your goal lined out day by day by day, or week by week, or whatever. If you've had to take a step back, it doesn't mean throw in the towel. It means, okay, I took a step back. I'm human. Let me not just say all the work I did and all the healing I did and all the time I put in and all the whatever I put in to get to this point. I'm going to pick myself up, and now I'm going to start from this point, and I'm going to move forward. So please, whatever goal you are on, whatever the end of your rainbow is, if you're overwhelmed, break your goals down smaller, even smaller. And if you keep going, you will get there, because there's really no other option when you think about it. If you keep going, you will get there. So just something I wanted to share, because it was a huge eye-opening experience for me. I think since the day I since the day I came through the door injured. I had left on under my own power of my legs and came back in a wheelchair. And this has been the hardest transition since then. And that was 23 years ago. And here I am today. I have a happy life, a wonderful life. I never thought that when I first got injured. When I first came through my front door, sitting down. And again, goals. You have to set them and you have to meet them. And if you're not meeting them, you have to look out why. So this is a topic that I could go on and on about. So you will hear about it again very, very soon. As for today, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.